So due to the Steam Summer Sale, my friend brought the 4-pack of Space Engineers, and he gave me a copy. Started playing, and it was pretty confusing, and didn't really know what I was doing. We started to make this base. There used to be storage here, but started out with the platform just to get away from the wolves on the floor. Put down the medical room because it's essential to a base, and things just started growing. So basically, we knew that we needed storage, so we had storage in that corner. It was right here. And then we knew that we needed batteries, so we installed batteries to power the whole station. At first we had solar panels to power the station, but then we realized that wasn't very effective. Stupid wolves. So eventually we upgraded to a nuclear reactor, but then realized that we needed uranium for that, so that was a big ordeal. But we had a refinery, we got an assembler which helps you make things, and it was all connected. I actually enjoyed doing that. It was organization. And there's a few docking ports for ships. We just kind of threw them on as we needed them. It's not very organized or pretty. Since there's an abundance of stone, we have this connector that pulls all the stone to it and just dumps it out. Whenever we first settled down, another one of my friends thought it was a good idea to build a moat around the whole base to protect from the wolves, but it actually didn't work too well because the wolves just kind of glitched through it. So it's just super big inconvenience. This little perimeter that's wrapped off, I guess you could say, was like our building area for when we were trying to learn how to build rovers and different spacecraft, and this was like the main docking point for the first ship. And then eventually I got bored of this base and I just kept playing this game like crazy, and I wanted something more. And me and my friends' idea to get away from the meteors, which cause these giant craters, and the wolves, is to build in the side of a mountain. So we eventually did, and it's way up here. This is the mountain base. It took a very long time to make, but it was really fun, and it's just really nice looking in my opinion compared to the other base anyways. So this one, I want it like a containment area for all the refineries and just make it look cool, because I mean, it's a mountain base. You can take advantage of whatever you want. You can dig anywhere you need to. And then I set up this little tunnelway. It was just aesthetics, and you can come down and see all the tubing that's under here. So in the other base we had one refinery and one blast furnace. And this one we have 3 refineries and 1 blast furnace. And before each of the refineries and before the blast furnace, there's a large cargo container to hold any ore that may back up in the system. It's a bit excess, but it was, I don't know, we had the resources whenever I was building this base, so I said, why not? But everything, all the refineries come to these back end tubes, and the tubing comes all the way down here, and then this little section, this little loop is meant to store all the ingots and just different things like gravel, just everything that's made from the refineries and the blast furnace. And there's all these green arrows, these are sorters. All these sorters are meant to allow the ingots to go into this container, but not loop around and go in an endless cycle of looping. And then there's a bunch of ridiculous spotlights just to light it all up, even whenever you don't have your own personal light on. But basically all of the tubing is connected to this one central junction. It's a 6-sided cube that allows you to place tubing on every direction, all 6 faces. So this tubing comes from the end of the refinery, this tubing goes to the beginning of the refineries. This tubing that I'm hovering over right there goes to the main storage, so like the heart and the mass storage of the whole base. And then this tubing that I'm walking on, that's the ice storage, and ice is used to make hydrogen and oxygen, and they just go up to the hydrogen and oxygen components of the base. And then I think, the top tubing goes to the assembler, which helps build components and different things, and it also goes to the large reactor, and that just sucks up all the uranium to produce power. And then this long line of tubing goes to the docking area. But yeah, there's quite a few connectors and docking stations for the base itself. I tried to make it as neat and look nice as possible. Like these lights are unnecessary because every person has their own lights that they can turn on and off, but it just looks nice. And then this is the hydrogen tank, and these are the oxygen generators, which also, or no, those are oxygen storage. This is the generator. It makes hydrogen and oxygen, and it splits them up into the 2 storing containers. And this is the mass storage I was talking about, and those are the assemblers. Apparently, if you connect 2 of them together and put them in a cooperative mode, they assemble a lot faster. There was also some tubing down there that comes up and connects to the med room, and that's just to power it so that you can replenish your hydrogen, your power, your oxygen, and your health in the bottom left corner. And then eventually the goal is to build into here, and this will lead to our spaceship, the ship we decide to take to space, which is the next thing I'm going to work on, honestly. And then now for the ships. Oh, we also have a stone dumping station for this base as well. So the little ship I'm flying right now, I named it the Jet just because it's very, I don't know, jet looking. It's super maneuverable, but the annoying thing about this game is the top speed is 100 meters per second if you look in the bottom left. So no matter how many jets you put on it or how many thrusters you put on it, you can only go 100 meters per second. It just matters how fast you can do it. But this thing's really fun to fly. It's really maneuverable, although I'm not flying it very well. And it's intended to dock here. This is like our first flying vehicle. Has the passenger seats thrown on the top. But since it was the first one, I don't want to get rid of it just because it is usable. It doesn't fly super well, but it flies well enough. This connector was meant for the previous mining ship that I had built, but I had to deconstruct it so that I could build this one. This thing's massive. So down here are the drills, obviously. They're all connected, and I'll go to 3 large containers, which provides tons of storage for the ship. And all these batteries are like kind of thrown on here, and they look awkward, and it's because there used to be medium storage containers, like right here, like just all the way around. So the batteries were kind of placed around those containers, but I had to get rid of them because this thing was holding way too much material at one time. It was just, I couldn't get enough thrusters on it to compensate. So it has a crap ton of thrusters. It's mostly upward thrusters. All the directional thrusters, there's only 6 small ones for each direction, and it's mostly because whenever you're mining with this big ship, you don't need a lot of different facing thrusters because you're just going straight down most of the time. This is the smaller miner, but I'll get back to that. Now this beast is intended to just dig holes, literally. I'm gonna go to the last place I was mining. I recently found out that spotlights on this game don't require energy at all, so I have loaded up on them on basically every ship. It's pretty weird flying in this game, but it's also really fun. The difficulty is what makes it fun. It can get a little laggy when mining, but for the most part it's not too bad. Yeah, I literally just dig straight down with this giant thing. Oh yeah, I remember I finished this hole. Oh wow, this is perfect, because I'm just going to leave this here. I'm just going to park it, literally just park it. Turn off the dampeners, it won't use any energy. If you look in the bottom right, this thing can sit here for 51 days and it'll still have power. So, where's the base? Yeah, those are the meteors that are a pain in the butt. It's actually fairly simple to get ships to be mobile and just move very well. So this ship was built right above the other large one so that I knew exactly how big, like I knew what the restriction was, because this thing needs to be able to fit down the hole that the larger one creates. Oh wow, that's a lot easier. But it fits in here pretty snug, but like I said, it fits. So the idea is that you dig straight down and then you use this little guy to collect all the resources. Because before I was using a single miner that had a similar design to the large miner, and I would just dig down, and whenever I got resources, like that was it. There's all there was to it. So the idea is that once this thing is full, I have my large ship parked right below it. I can just hover on down and put anything I need into it. There is a sorter on the larger ship. All the orange titles are the large ship inventories, and the normal color is my current smaller ship inventories. But there's a sorter on the large ship that is pulling everything out of the smaller one. So yeah, these are slowly depleting, and they're all going into the large containers on the large ship. Okay, so let's say I'm done mining all I want. I can just leave that one attached if I like. So I'm gonna undock the smaller ship right here, because sometimes things go bad. Oh wow, okay. It didn't... Sometimes it'll like completely spaz out. I have no idea why. It's just a little funky glitch that it does. I need to make a docking station for this, because like sometimes I'll just go and dig with the larger miner and leave this one here, because it doesn't have too many batteries on it. It has enough to do its job and no more. So the huge miner, oh wow, it already emptied it. I was going to show you it emptying. So we just mined gold. So if we go find gold, it's already been organized into the large ore container that's meant for the stone, gold, and silicon. And And let's do this. So currently the refinery for that large container that's holding the ore is working on stone. I honestly don't need that much stone, so I can just throw the gold in there and prioritize it. Once it has been put into the refinery and has been refined, I guess, it's automatically pulled into the large ingot container. And then you can use this tab. We're currently controlling the mountain base. You can use this tab to access the assemblers and make all these components. Or you can also use large blocks. Like you can say you need like an ion thruster, a large ion thruster, which I do need. You can set it up to build it. I'm currently sitting in this miner and I can completely access everything. This is the mass storage inside the mountain base, and I can just throw any items I want into it. It's all super organized. Everything's been labeled. So we can go to the mountain base. This is literally everything for the huge miner. They've all been labeled huge miner as a prefix, and this is everything for the jet. And they're color coded in this menu so that you can like distinguish them. But since I've labeled each of them, it's a lot easier because everything for the jet will be right next to each other because it's alphabetical on the menu. So MB is mountain base. Everything is named and organized as well as it can be. So like this sorter is strictly used for avoiding looping for the mass storage. Quite a few resources already scoped out. Oh, and there's an ice lake over there, but it's really far away. I'm actually gonna take you guys there because we need ice and I haven't been there in a while. I'm just gonna use the big one. I'm sure it can make it. It might be risky, but oh whoa, there's another planet. Like I've always seen that greenish looking one and its little red moon right by it. But I've never seen that white thing off in the distance. That was actually fairly easy. I'm still going pretty fast, but speed's so difficult to perceive in this game because like you never realize how far things are away. How far away things are. Oh, yep, see I'm about to crash. Nope, we're good, okay. That was terrifying. So that marker right there, the white one, is from the ore detector on the ship. But so as you can see, it's mining away and it fills up the containers one by one. Jeez. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of ice. So dark spots in the ground indicate that there's there's most likely ore, so... Oh yeah, look at that, silicon. Uranium, wow. I'm just gonna see how deep this ice goes. This thing's meant for digging down, so I'm gonna dig down. Now we get to journey back with our heavy, slow ship. So, I went all the way to the lake, mined all that ice, and then as you saw, I crashed. So whenever you crash in this game, it causes a big lag. And typically what I've been doing in the past is, since I play on the server alone for now, I just close the game and start from the last save, and that's what I've done. The only problem with that is if you don't have autosave on, it means you lost all your progress and there's no way to get back to a loading point before everything went bad. So to record the video, I turned off autosave because whenever it saves, it's still like really rough on the server, so it lags a lot for like 5 seconds, and it's just really irritating. So I got rid of autosave, and I lost all that ice. But whatever. It doesn't matter. Pretty rich on resources. But anyway, this is the mountain base. It's very efficient, and it organizes itself. Next step is to go to space.